Hello, everyone. I'm having a little bit of a difficulty. I'm on my phone, and I don't know how to see the chat from my phone. I just realized that. And I have Marcia here, who's having difficulties on her end, and she's on her phone. So it'll be an interesting show. How are you, Marcia? Frozen in time. Wonderful. Well, hopefully she'll join us. And if you just give me a minute, I'm going to try to figure out how to get to see the chat so I can say hi to everybody without blocking. Let's see. Nope, that did not work. I'll try to do it another way. You know, Mercury's in retrograde. I don't really think that really has a whole lot to do with everything that's going on. But this is the second week in a row that I have had trouble. So I guess I'm going to be doing this show alone, and we'll reschedule Marcia because she seems to be gone. I don't have the chat up. Oh, wait, here, it just started on my laptop. So give me a minute. This is like, you know, you make do, right? You learn from everything. Let's see. Hi, we have Kim and Joyce. Oh, in Washington. I didn't know where you were from. Nice that you're here. I'm appreciative. We have Ruth. Let's see. I'll move this over. Man, good thing I was a Girl Scout because I really learned how to make do with what I got to work with. So since we don't have Marcia, let's get on a topic. And there's a topic that I did a lecture on Sunday at the Illuminate in Frederick, Maryland. And one of the things that I brought up, that the lecture overall was, you know, soul care and is self-care. And the one thing that I brought up was the way our society are just big consumers. It's all about consumerism. You know, it's really like a success syndrome that our society has instilled in us. We value everything that we have by the things that we achieve and the things that we own, the places we live in, the trips we go on, you know, the bling we wear, that type of stuff. And even on the surface of the physical, and that, you know, that comes in with the marketing and society and airbrushing and all the things that go along with it. They put this image of perfection, and it forces mainly women to go and, you know, Botox and facelifts and all those things. We're so disconnected to what is truth and what life is really intended to be. I also feel that what's going on in the world and in our country is the great shake-up to wake up. And it really is about the consumerism. Oh, she's back. Hello, my friend. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You don't know. Speaking of consumerism and the way the world is, look, we're dependent on all this cell towers, and I got to put my teeth back in my mouth, and the internet and everything. That, look, we lose something, what do? We laugh it off. You keep coming in and out, Marcia. I think she said she's in North Dakota now. Nebraska. I don't know. I wish I could hear you. So I'll carry on until Marcia reads. So yeah, actually in one of my counseling books, it was called Success Syndrome, and it even starts with the youth. Um, Hello, Melissa. She's laughing. Are you there, Marcia?
I
You keep
am. Does that
keep
help?
going in and out. Yes.
Oh, gee.
Hello.
Oh, good. Hi. This is just crazy.
It really is.
So, yeah, yeah,
So,
it
how are
is
you, my
crazy.
dear?
I'm doing well, other than anything on the internet. Apparently, I'm just not meant to do that right at the moment. Thanks, Mercury.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh
if it's
my
just
goodness.
Mercury or what. It's a little
I don't
wonky,
know.
right?
I don't know. It is wonky.
Uh,
Everything is, yeah.
so I was just talking a little bit about materialism and how the world has gotten to this success syndrome. But now that you're here, I want to hear about you and what you're doing.
Well, thanks. I am in North Dakota today, Dickinson, North Dakota, guest starring at my friend's office. And generally, there's internet there, and this time I couldn't get it to work. So now I'm in my car. And
Well, you
so,
seem to be coming across maybe not 100% clear, but we
probably
got you.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. This
Yeah.
is 2 weeks in a row. There's been technical difficulties for me, so I'm like, okay, is the universe saying maybe you shouldn't be doing a show?
I don't know. I had trouble on Monday. My whole show we couldn't do because the whole city of Cedar Rapids was out of internet, and it wasn't just there, it was all over the Midwest. So I found that pretty interesting too, though.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
rely on this grid, and how long can we really rely on this grid? I keep thinking that my business needs to be based on online things, and maybe I'm totally wrong.
yeah. I think
So,
about that with the because I do most, as you know, mostly remote, and I have my
yeah,
cell phone, but my business line is through Google Voice. So if something happens with my cell phone, sometimes I can use the Google Voice. But what happens when they both go?
right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
I don't
maybe
know.
we need to get back into the community and do more things in person, which you've been doing.
Yeah. I have been doing that. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I travel all over. So,
Same here. Marcia and I, we usually talk once a week, and a lot of times we're in our cars traveling from events. So
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
in two different
So,
parts of the state, though, or the country, rather, not the state, the country. So what?
exactly. Yeah.
So
We
what?
haven't been
So tell
together
me
for a
what's going
while.
on. What was that?
So, we haven't been together for a while. In fact, we've never done shows together. I find that really interesting because that's how we met.
I know, I know, and I was just an
Yeah.
attendee. Um, yeah, it's we haven't seen each other in person since I think it was 2020. 3 years. We're long overdue.
Wow.
Long overdue.
It was
And
2020. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and the shows.
Right.
There's so many that you do that I would love to come and do, but
Hmm.
it's like the timing is just hasn't been right. But we're going to
Yeah.
work on that
Yeah.
one, right?
Right.
So, what is new? What's coming through?
Let's see what is new. Um, hmm. Well, I have been hearing more from my mom lately, and that's a really interesting thing for me. Um, Most people don't get in touch with my mom, and I've never known why, but over the weekend somebody did and really helped excuse me, helped me connect with her higher self more. So she is also reincarnated. So it was very interesting though. She she talked about money, being her Capricorn self and my Capricorn self. That's just what I needed. So she talked about money being a flow and that I wasn't spending money, I was flowing money. So um and that was exactly what I needed to hear at the time. So that was pretty
Good.
cool. That's new in my world. So,
And it felt great.
yeah, it
Yeah,
did. Absolutely.
money's a big thing for many people because we have that distortion and that connectedness to it that we grew up with. So if you were in a household where it
Mhm.
was tight and you heard things like money didn't grow on trees and it was always like this lack and scarcity, it carries through with us into this life. Or, it's like the vow of poverty. So if we're doing something spiritual and uplifting, then sometimes you might not, and that this I was guilty of, like not charging, or thinking that I'm not doing the work of the divine because I'm getting paid for it, and working through all of those things was really a big breakthrough for me.
Yeah, me too. I had on both sides of my family, we really have had issues with that historically. So, and I know on my mom's side, my great grandmother, well, my great grandparents actually, number one, it was a sin to have any money, and secondly, it was they just were so scarce on money that they my grandfather refused to butcher any of the cattle, and it led to my one of my uncles being born um malnutritioned and uh had, I don't remember what the disease is, but a disease that small kids get, or babies get, because of being malnutritioned. And eventually he died. I think he was 15 or 16 when he died. But that, I mean, that had to be enormously hard on my grandmother, and
Mm-hmm.
one of my other uncles remembers her begging him to butcher a cow, and but no, they owed all of those to the bank. So yeah, we've got all kinds of lineage with that going on. So it's been quite the big hurdle for me, to get over all of that and to just allow things to flow. So, and then when I spend money on like a show, or even doing my live show, when I was spending money on it, I thought, I've got to do this. I've got to keep it going. And now it's great because people donate enough money to keep it going. But at first it was kind of a tension thing for me, you know,
Yeah.
to get into the mindset of it's going to be okay because this is going to help. So
Right,
yeah,
right. Are we
very
using our money
interesting.
wisely?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So,
Yeah.
oh, you're breaking up a bit.
Oh, bummer.
Okay. I want to ask you,
Hopefully I'll
because you
come
brought
back.
up the lineage. Are you there? Because I want
Hmm.
to ask you a question. Um, so you did the work with the Ancestors Within book, and you talk about the lineage
Hmm.
with the money connection.
Right.
How do you feel like ancestral? How do you go about really healing that and breaking the chain of that dysfunctional connection?
Well, it gets pretty interesting. Sometimes I get a whole story around what happened. That one my uncle told me. Mm, But most of it has been a feeling of, I've got to correct this. And like I know that my family thought money was a sin because of other things that they taught, so I knew that that was there, but it wasn't anything anybody said. So I needed to. So the way I go about healing it is go into meditation, and I see energy strings. So I see it all as something that looks like a spider web, and then when I and it goes from um, ancestrally and also into past lives and future lives. So when I pull on that string, in my mind, I'm pulling that string and unraveling everything. So it's like like you have a sweater, and or you've just done a lot of knitting or crocheting and tying things in knots. It's just like unraveling that, and that's what I see in my head when I do it. So it's really interesting.
Cool.
I'm sure everybody
Yeah,
doesn't work
yeah.
that way. That's the way I work. So,
Hey, that's a good point you brought up, that not everybody works that way, and it goes along with everything, with healing and your belief system, and whether you choose to use crystals or sound healing or aromatherapy. It's what really resonates and what works for you. It's even with us receiving messages and our gifts, we all get
mhm,
it differently. And I think,
right.
people sometimes try to overthink it. Like, I'm not doing it right. It isn't this way. It's like, even with meditating, I have clients that say, I can't meditate. Well, what do you think it is? Like, let's start there.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. I cannot sit in do they call it the lotus position with the crisscross applesauce? I cannot do that. Haven't
Right.
been able to do that for years. So if that's what you
Hmm.
think it is, I am totally not doing it.
Right. Right. Yeah. And
But there are,
you know very well with the hip replacement. I mean, I could do it now, but it's not something I stay in it for a very long time. That's for sure.
right.
And I
Yeah.
think people have
Yeah.
like this expectation that thoughts stop coming, like when they go into meditation, everything is silent. And it's like, no,
Oh,
the
no.
thoughts never stop coming. It's just you don't put the energy on
Mm-mm.
them, they just flow on through.
Right. Right. And in some books,
So,
I think it's Eat, Pray, Love that I read, and she meditated until in an ashram until her mind went blank, and I went, I'll be damned. Well, I've been doing it for 15 years and it's not happened yet. So I'm not in a panic about
yeah.
doing it perfectly. So, yeah. But the thoughts in our heads
And
are
and in
what we need to pay attention to, what is happening in our heads, what keeps recurring, so
Yeah, are they the negative thoughts, or are they the thoughts that are bringing us to higher truth and enlightenment? Or are they thoughts that are
mhm,
holding us back? So you're right. Yeah, we have to be aware of
right.
that. It's like emotions. Emotions come up, and whether they're good or bad, all emotion is good for you. You just don't stay in it. You work through it and move
Mhm,
on. So
right,
that's the
right.
it's I think as
Yeah.
an overall, I think we all put too much pressure on ourselves and perfectionism.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's
and that
probably
comes.
something that we were taught.
Yeah, and I was because before you got on, I was talking about the success syndrome and false programming from society and media, and being a certain way, and the body image and the airbrushing and all that materialistic stuff that Joyce commented that she hated that. And, it's all connected when you think about it, because we really have been brainwashed from the very beginning.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it
And
could
it's
be
being
by our
exposed.
family. It could be by society. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's a combination of a multitude of things. I don't think it's just one thing, because when you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, when we're children, we spend a lot of time in school with teachers, and they form us. So we're being formed by
Mm-hmm.
many different outside forces, and sometimes they're not really for our highest best. So where are you looking to go now? Because I know that you got the show going. You're working on doing a little bit more on the internet. You're laughing at the truck, uh, and
Yeah, fire engines going by.
because you're super hot, girl.
Oh my. So my next, I think that well, I know I'm going to be moving, and I haven't told anybody that yet. So here we are.
I'm gonna. I'm
But I'm
shocked.
moving to I'm moving to the Black Hills. I have a roommate. I've talked to her. I've decided to take the place, and yeah, like I said, I haven't told anybody yet. So hopefully nobody hugely panics. I will be continuing to go into Montana, and like like I told her, I don't even know really when I can move yet, cuz my first chance is like July. So but I want to try it out, give it a shot, see what happens, and it may not be permanent. It may be a short-term thing, but I feel like there's healing work for me that I need to do on myself, and also healing work for the land in South Dakota. So, plus reconnecting with lifetimes that I've had there that were Native American. So, it'll
Yeah,
be
I
fun.
I know that you have been drawn there for the land, and it feels like the right thing. I gotta laugh. Tiffany said she's moving to Connecticut. Ha 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 ha.
Not yet.
And hi,
Oh,
Robin. I didn't acknowledge that you're on here. We love you. She is. Oh, she was driving. Yeah, yeah. So, energetically with the planetary alignments, I think moving is in a lot of people's charts. Now, you know more about that than I do. What do you think about that?
it is definitely a possibility right now. They say not to do anything during Mercury retrograde, not to make any huge decisions, and but this has been coming for a long time, so I don't feel like this is a bad decision during Mercury retrograde, So, um, but yes, the planets are aligning so that there could be big change in our lives right now. So, and specifically, I can't tell you because I don't have all that written down, and this brain doesn't hold that stuff. It holds a lot of lyrics, but not necessarily precisely everything that's going on in the universe right now.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't know it. I just know enough to be dangerous. I
but
just
I
know that
also
everything is.
know, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just know that for me, it's like everything is moving very quickly.
Hmm. Yeah, it is. And they're always there. Now, I don't know if you could see this in astrology or not, but I have felt a lot more galactic energy. So, a lot more um, aliens coming around And alien seems to be a bad word to use, but galactic energy sounds better, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I've felt a lot of help from them, and so that kind of comes and goes. But this is a wave of that being pretty strong. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it might be because I'm in North Dakota.
Uh, well, I
Uh,
think it feels like well, the veil is obviously thinner to the spirit realm, but I feel like there
mhm.
is that energy of meshing of all kinds of life forces, for a lack of a better term.
Yeah,
And it's an exciting time. It's an uncertain time, but I feel it's a very exciting time because it's like I can't wait
right.
to see what's going to happen next. That's like I feel like I've been watching this really slow moving soap opera that's just starting to get heated up.
Right? Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, so what's your
yeah,
next
that's
show that
wonderful.
you're going to be doing?
I will be in Gillette this weekend. This is how long
Oh,
it
and
takes me to remember my schedule. So yeah, in 2 days or three days, I'll be in Gillette, Wyoming. And I always have fun in Gillette. And we are back at the Boys and Girls Club. So this is to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club. So that'll be fabulous.
awesome.
It's a
That's
wonderful
wonderful.
facility, and yeah, yeah, and I get to see people that I know. So plus, the acoustics are amazing in there. So
For for your beautiful
I
voice.
apologize for the traffic.
That's okay. That's all
Thank you.
right. It's got to flow,
Yeah.
right? As long as it's
So
moving.
right.
Yeah, this weekend I'll I'll be Friday. I go to New Jersey, and my granddaughter's doing her first Holy Communion on Saturday. Then I leave Saturday, jump on the ferry, go to Lewis, Delaware to do the Illuminate on Sunday. So, and today I got to tell you,
Cool.
I feel like myself. I got back here Monday after being in Frederick doing the Illuminate, as you know, but I was
Hmm.
so exhausted. It took me,
Oh wow.
I did what I had to do when I got back on Monday, and then yesterday I had some readings and things going on, and last night I went to bed. I was like, I got to get a good night's sleep, and it's time to recharge. But I woke up today. I'm like, yeah, you're back. You're ready to go on the road again.
Good, good. Yeah. It can be
It does
kind of
take a lot.
taxing.
Yeah, it does start to take a lot on you. And like I said, I've been
Right.
bouncing all over the place. But after this coming weekend, the following weekend, I have like a 2 week span that I'm just going to be, doing my regular clients and readings and stuff here over the phone. And then the big event in PA comes up. But yeah, it's really it gets tiring. So maybe the show will
Yeah.
replace
Yeah.
some of the events eventually. Who knows? Who knows? But I love being in front of
Right.
people, as you do too. It's
Yeah.
like homecoming
Yeah.
week when you see the other vendors and your family. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is fun. Yeah. And in several systems, I would say, I am the performer. So it's fun for me to get out in front of people. So
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, you do have that lovely voice. Um, so I don't know. I haven't, last show I didn't do any messages, and I don't see that there's really anybody on there. Lady is in direct alignment, major downloads. That's from Kim. I'm not sure who Kim is. Do you know Kim?
I do. I think so. Kim
Yeah.
Smith.
Oh, yes. I
Yeah.
didn't want to say her last name. I was like, I don't know. She wants it out there.
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, you
Uh,
can't see the chat either.
I cannot see the
So
chat.
I have the chat. I have it up on my laptop, um, as like I'm viewing it as a viewer. So I'm getting to read it that way. That was like a quick think because I can't do it on, you can't do it on the phone, obviously, can you? But
Well,
I'm making
I'm
it work.
able to see myself. So, and I
Mm,
have to set it first, which I did not. So,
yeah. So you're coming in and out a little bit, but it's good. It's all good. So what is your take on events? Do you think that they are opening up more now since, the lockdown? Because I know last year I thought they were a little slow. Um, and Lou on Facebook says, nice laugh. Good to hear you. Okay. That was for me. So, um, do you feel like it's getting back to the way it was before the whole BS pandemic?
I do feel like that. I feel, you know, I don't know if it really mattered who you were. I think people were afraid to see each other, So, I mean, I didn't believe in a whole lot of it. I did get sick a little bit, but the staying away from people, that is not good for humanity. We are
Not
humans. We
at
are
all.
we do not do well separate from everybody else, no matter who you are, really. So, and especially if it's out of fear. So I do feel like it's coming back and that people are getting more interested in it. And I think some of the plan of the pandemic, I feel like backfired a little bit. So that people are kind of springboarding the other way where they want to know more about what's going on and they need to know people like us, so they do come out to these shows and get a better understanding. One of the last shows that I was in, I had a man who had sat through the presentation before me and then sat through mine and then followed me back to my booth and said, I need to know where you are and I need a reading from you. And I said, okay. So he sat down in my booth and he said, I'm a scientist and I don't have any idea what's going on here, but I am so attracted to all this stuff. And I laughed and I said, well, science and spirituality should be married. It should
Mm-hmm.
be the same thing, It should not be a separate thing. And then I think it was his grandfather that came through. And his grandfather was so excited that he was the one pushing him there, you could tell. And he was so excited that he was finally opening up to there being connections between the two, that it shouldn't be separate, and that the seriously good magic happens when all of it comes together, So I was
Right.
super excited to have to have somebody like that in my booth, and I always love a challenge, So
Yeah.
when doubters
Yeah.
are in, that's cool too.
Yeah. That's why I love Dr. Bruce Lipton, because he's a scientist, but he
Yeah.
gets it. He really gets it. And I actually reached out to him to be a guest on my show.
Oh,
But yeah, it's like 6 months to a year before they even get to me to consider me. So we'll see. But
yeah.
I mention him a lot because his work
Right.
is spot on. It really is. And you're right, it is a marriage. It's like connecting the dots when you take the spiritual and the science and you put it together. It fills in the blanks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's really good. So yeah, I see a difference in the events, and I'm happy to see that fewer people. I mean, it's not even a handful anymore that I see that are still wearing masks. There are a couple out there that, that are, and for whatever reason, but to each their own. I'm not here to judge or condemn anyone at any point. It's just, it's amazing. And you're right. It's human nature to be in a physical connectedness community. I mean, that you talk about science and spirituality right there. That's two things that totally meshes and connects, is being around people and needing that family and that community and that camaraderie of being with your brothers and sisters.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And
Say hello,
I
say
say,
hello to Shaman Bob.
oh, hi, Bob. How are you?
He
Yay,
joined
you're
us. So, yeah. So, what were you saying?
I would say that the metaphysical shows, at least the shows that I'm in and that I choose to be in, are some of the most accepting people in the world too. So I have a lot of people come to my booth and say, "You're gonna think I'm crazy, but," and I say, "Probably not. But shoot, let's hear it. Let's see if you can surprise me."
Yeah, yeah.
So
There's a lot of firsts, but no surprises.
yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I get. I get first, but no surprises. So,
Yeah.
so you did a presentation at the last event?
I did one in Hot Springs, not at this last one that I was at, but I did when I was in Hot Springs a couple weeks ago, and mine got shortened a little bit because the person in front of me ran over, and that was, she has a place that I really believe helps people, and it's a small acreage in the Black Hills, and she uses her horses to help people heal, and I have experienced it. It is amazing. So I wanted her to just keep going until she was dead, and then when I did mine, we shortened it up a little bit, but I got my point across, and clearly it helped people, so that was good too. And I talked about
Yeah.
how,
Yeah. What was your?
I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you what your topic was.
Oh, I talked about how, I think that the title was "Your Ancestors Want to Connect with You." So I did talk about, different ways that they connect with us, and how we can recognize that they're actually there and trying to connect. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was good.
So you mentioned the horses, and I've noticed that there is a lot of collaboration with healing and animals, and not only that, the service animals to help us, but healers helping animals.
Hmm.
Like the horse whisperer, and the communication and the connectedness. So earlier when we were talking about, different life forms and the veil being thinner, it's it I find it kind of like a connectedness to what that is all about, because it's like the communication that is occurring between animals and people, because we're open more to experiencing things. It's like taking a walk in the forest or in the woods, and really seeing that the plants and the trees are alive and they're communicating as well. So that's
Right.
where, we're that line of connectedness. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah,
So
in ancient times we believed all of that, and I don't really think it matters which, what nationality you were, but I know that the Celts believed that for sure. I mean, they still believe in Anam Cara. So that means my soul friend, and it's this whole system of everything is connected. So, and the
Mm-hmm.
web of word in Scotland, and you know, uh, I think every culture probably has that. And but I was just thinking that the Dark Ages did a huge number on us. When we forgot all of that, that's been a long time getting back to where we are connected, and that everything is affected by everything else. So,
Right. Right.
yeah,
That's what I said earlier. I think it was before you were able to connect. Like this is the great shake up to wake up. We had to have this breakdown of what we were led to believe is truth to bring us back to what is truth.
yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is a beautiful experience if you're awake to experience it.
Yes, yes. Hmm.
Yeah. And
Good
it's,
time.
go ahead.
It's a good time to be alive.
It sure is. And you and I had in one of our conversations, because I was raised Catholic. I There's still a lot of Christian belief that carries through in my life. I pray every day. I believe in God. I believe that Jesus was our teacher and way shower. But there are things that I don't agree with. And when I it's like, who says that that is truth? It's like Greek is mythology, but what about the Bible and the Christianity? Like, where?
Right,
Because they say so. Who are they? It's like, so you can question everything as, what is your truth? And that's what the bottom line is finding and discovering what your truth is, what resonates with you, what you connect to. And the only thing that runs through is to love one another and not to do harm on another.
right.
It's the only law.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And boy, is this society, this world screwed that up royally. It's like, let me
Right.
just step on you while I get to the top.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
and that goes back to what I was talking about, the material world and how we've become such consumerisms. Uh, Joyce says, life is a magnificent ride. It sure is if we choose to look at the magnificent views.
absolutely. Yes.
Right, right.
The way to keep yourself happy though is to look at that magnificence, and the really good things that are happening. We all have emotions that, like you said, we need to go through those emotions, but that doesn't mean we need to stay there. Um, and sometimes we get a little stuck in that muck and yuck, and we need to look at the wonderful things that are happening, the really good things. So,
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's like, yeah, don't go there and unpack and move in. You just need to brief visit.
right. Yes.
But yeah, and it's like, remaining open to love and beauty. If that's what you want in your life and all you want to attract in and see, and that's what you stay open to. It's that adage of like where the go energy flows. So if you're fixated on all the negative things and the evil things and corrupt things, well, that's what's coming back at you. I trust you, Marcia. So if you stay open to and focused on love and beauty, that's what you're going to get in return. I don't know where you went, Marcia, but we were having a really good conversation, and I was going to ask you to sing. So I sent out my newsletter today for May, that the links for the show and my upcoming events, and I received a message for the vibe of the month, and it was to ground yourself in faith and allow yourself to bloom into your beautiful being. So I think Marcia's coming back. So I'd like to put that out there, everyone, for the theme for this month, to really just ground yourself in the faith and bloom into your beautiful being. Are you back, Marcia?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what happened there.
No audio. No audio.
No.
I don't know what's going on. Oh, there you are. Okay. It was my end.
Okay.
So, oh, okay. I hear her now too, Tiffany. I had to push the play button. I'm a little bit like technically challenged, also directionally challenged. So, Marcia, do you have a song that you would like to share with everyone while you're here?
Sure. I would love to do that. Let's see what comes through. Let you me know. Shanky we know me know how should you can adore Manu can not we know. That was very
Wow, that was
calming, Tiffany.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, to me too. Thank you.
You're welcome. So there is a new thing that came through yesterday. I don't know where I've been that I haven't heard this woman's songs before, but somebody sent me a song of a gal named, I think it's Fia or Tia. Anyway, she sent it to me on Spotify, and she is not from America, but she sings English, and she talks about specific things that you can do to heal yourself during her songs. So now I would do it slightly differently, and yesterday I came up with a song, and thank goodness for hitting the record button on my phone, because today I can't remember that. I know it was about opening my heart, and I know that it was singing like if I record this song, perfect it, record it, then it will be talking to everybody about opening their heart. So it won't be just like a meditation. The actual song will be about opening your heart and really tangible ways to feel it opening, right? So so that's in the works. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. The song, the healing in the music and the song, it makes so much sense. We were talking about spirituality and science and that vibrational energy and how it heals. And now there's so much research out there, and so much of it makes so much sense. But think about, you go back to tribal, and it was like the drummings and there's a reason that they did all those things.
Absolutely.
It's like, yeah. Robert just said that he received the newsletter and he's going to write down the date for Ag Hall. That's the Allentown, PA one, because Robert did say it was close. Yes, and if anybody wants to get on my newsletter, you can just email me at wellnessmary.com like Robert did, and I will get you. wellnessmary@gmail.com, and I'll get you on the newsletter like Robert had done, and now he's on the newsletter list. Yay. I don't send out a whole lot, but I do send them out. And I promise, I don't hound you, and I don't try to get you to buy a timeshare.
Yeah, I'm almost allergic to sending them out. So if you get an email from me, it's next to a miracle. I'm definitely not going to try to talk you into anything.
I pat myself on the back today because I switched. I used to use chimp mail, and now I'm using MailerLite, and I had tried another one in between there, and I'm still learning their platform, and I did the one today, and I'm like, hey, that didn't take you that long. You're getting good, girl. I gave myself a little pat on the back because it's like,
yay.
It's a lot of work. People don't realize the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And especially, I want to put a shout out to Goldylocks, Tiffany. She's great. And Marcia's been with her for a while longer than I have. And that woman, man, she really knows her stuff, and she works very hard, and we appreciate you. And there is the VIP program with Goldylocks Productions, and there's extra shows and things that you get if you join the VIP program. We appreciate donations, as Marcia said about the show paying for itself. They are all very helpful. And Tiffany says, I love and appreciate y'all too. It's a nice family you got here, Tiffany.
Yes.
Yes. So there, there's different ways if you want to donate. And I want to put a shout out. I am leaving him anonymous, but I had a very dear, sweet friend that actually sponsored my show for this month, and I truly appreciate it. And more than you realize, because those little things really do help in a big way.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we have a few more minutes. What would you like to talk about?
Well, where are you going to be next? You haven't talked about yourself.
I did. I said I was going to be in New Jersey and then to Delaware to the Illuminate, which is, I don't even know the location off the top of my hand, but it's in my newsletter. But I've done this event before. I will not be doing a workshop at this one. I did one in Frederick. I'm on the fence about workshops. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. And then it's the 20th and 21st. I think the dates are for the Mum Festival at Ag Hall in Allentown, PA, which is awesome. They have been there doing this event. It's Knick-Knack Charities that runs it, and it's it's probably close to 30 years because it's the woman's grandson that really runs things. But it's amazing. And that's one that my friend Marcia should be looking into.
I've heard about Mom. I've heard all about Mom, actually. So I know a lot of
Yeah.
people that do that show, and I think it would be fabulous to be in. Plus, I like Pennsylvania a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. And my best part about that show is my niece is like 10 minutes from the venue. So I stay with them, which is a good savings, but I get to sit. That's even better than any of it. Yeah. So I'm looking
Yeah, that's
forward to
perfect.
that. Big time. Yeah. Yeah. It's like you're on that west out west circuit of shows. And when you were on this end, and now you don't come this way.
I missed a lot of that. It was all broken up.
So I was saying that the circuit of shows that you're doing now are all out west. And you used to do shows in this area, like Myrtle Beach
Right.
and Florida, and you're not here.
I know. I decided to plant myself out west for a little while, and yeah, that, I mean, it's a trade-off. I would love to be all over the place, but can't be everywhere at the same time, right? So I decided to plant myself and get a little more grounded, and yeah, I'm hoping to continue with traveling here soon, though. I know I'll be out east in August. So, and right now, I don't know if I'm connected to the show and Mary left or what happened right now. So I can still see myself, but I'm the only one I can see.
I'm sorry, I'm back. I got kicked off my own show.
Well, that's it. You know,
Oh,
I'm
this
just
is
talking.
well, you're an
blame the
old
whole
hat at
thing.
this.
We're
You know
okay.
what to do. Yeah. Well, we managed to really keep it together. And I apologize to anybody on the chat because it really has been a challenge to see that and keep this going. But I really do think that Spirit and the angels have been surrounding us because we managed to get through this, Marcia, and with only a couple of little hiccups there.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I am really hoping that you and I can connect in person real soon.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make that happen. I don't know if it'll be an Illuminate, one of Judy's shows, or whatever. I'll be in Raleigh in August. What are you doing in August?
Oh, I was just saying that I'm going to be up in yep. I'll be back east in August, and I think I will probably drive. I think I was going to fly, but I think I'm going to drive, and I may be able to I'll have to look at dates and stuff, but I'm hoping to do some shows while I'm out there. So,
Well,
yeah.
we're definitely connecting. I don't care if it's a show or not, but you and I, girl, are definitely getting together. Well,
Yeah.
we're getting close to the end of time here for the show, and I want to thank you so much, my dear sweet friend. I love you.
I love you
It
too.
was a lot of fun having you. It was nice to, I enjoyed when I did your show, so it was really good that we got connected. I think we covered some good material.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, thank
hope
you for
everyone
having me on.
appreciate it. Yep. Thank you so much for any donations that came through. And I'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.